little cluster. You need to think big now. तो एक बड़ा सोचो तो बड़ी सोच से हम बड़ी चीज़ कर पाएंगे. And we will ask sir and everybody else to see what we can do. Government is providing you with so much of different kind of aids and rebates in the cost of the fabric and the yarn and everything. But everybody fabric looks the same. What if we make it different? Do you know that we all buyers are going around? We want something different. If you have something different, that's beautiful. And we stop there. You've already got a customer. You want people to stop. People को आके आपके स्टॉल के पास एक बार रुकना है. फिर एक बार रुक गया, फिर इसको कन्वर्जन करना आपके हाथ में है. रुकेगा कैसे? जब आप कुछ अलग से बनाओगे. रोज नया अलग से बनाओगे. आप 1 इंच नया सोच के वीव करो, रोज नया कलर्स लेके आओ, नया वीव्स इन्वेंट करो, कुछ अलग से सोचो. आप मैगजीन्स देखो, इंटरनेट देखो, सोशल मीडिया देखो, पिंटरेस्ट देखो. So many means available to us. So why are we doing the same thing? I would really urge all of our designers. It's a small group, but it doesn't matter. It's better it's a smaller group. Because we will interact personally. I will handhold you. I will help you. From my side, I will mentor all of you. I have done enough in life, and for me, if I can get to do this, I'd be the happiest. हम आपको दुनिया भर का एक्सपोजर लाके दे सकते हैं. आप अपने वीव से क्या कर सकते हो, आप क्या अचीव कर सकते हो. So I guess this is all that I can say on behalf of me, on behalf of Pratima Pandey. You're going to hear her. She's also a beautiful designer from Delhi. We also have another designer from Japan, Yuka, that she had spoken yesterday. तो सब आके थोड़ा बोलते जाते हैं. अब पता नहीं आपने क्या रजिस्टर किया. तो आपको समझना है, जो डिज़ाइनर्स आते हैं, बोलते हैं, समझाते हैं, आप किस तरह से अपने काम में उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट कर सकते हो, है ना. क्योंकि आपका जो बिज़नेस है वो बढ़ाना है. अभी मणिपुर को इतना नहीं रहना है. मणिपुर को चीर के दुनिया के सामने खड़ा होकर रहना है. तो उसके लिए I think हम मेहनत करेंगे. Do you think we all can promise today? You think we all can promise? Just tell me who's gonna do it. Raise your hands. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we want more people. Yeah? So you need to work harder. We are here with you. Get yourselves together. Get your act together. Please take my email ID. Let's start communicating. And before we have the next show, we're going to do something which is going to bowl the world over. You think we can do it? Hip hip! Hooray! Voila! Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, please let us know, and I'll hand over the mic to my colleagues.
Thank you very much, Srimati Krishna Mehta, Creative Director, Krishnan Mehta Studio. Now, let me invite Srimati Pratima Pandey, Prama by Pratima Pandey, to speak over the topic interior design with Manipuri handloom and handicraft, and all the designer and the official. ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯆꯥꯕ ꯄꯤ ꯋꯥꯍꯪ ꯍꯪꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯃꯨꯟꯅ ꯇꯥꯕꯤꯔꯒ ꯋꯥꯍꯪꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯍꯪꯕꯤꯅꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯗꯤꯖꯥꯏꯅꯔꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯅꯕꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯐꯤꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯗꯤꯖꯥꯏꯅꯔꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯍꯪꯒꯠꯆꯔꯤ. Now, requesting Madam Srimati Pratima Pandey, Prama by Pratima Pandey, to kindly deliver over this topic.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here. All the distinguished guests, respective dignitaries, fellow designers, Krishna Mehta and everyone here, and the extraordinary artisans of Manipur. Thank you for having me. It's a great honor to come and share my views about what I feel that we can do. I'm here in a land with beautiful culture and excellent textiles that I witnessed. And what I realized that every thread here is telling us a story. And I'm here reading that story and trying to understand what I can do for that story. So thank you. I feel it's a great honor to be here. Okay, where do I start? I am a designer with a brand called Prama. Prama by Pratima Pandey. And you know what my brand says? Prama is a Sanskrit word which means beauty with intelligence in Sanskrit. And I think we all have to believe in that, and we have to do exactly that. We have to intelligently place handloom for the world to see and witness what we are trying to say through our looms and through our threads. Okay, now going back to what I can do for Manipur, I think the textile is immense. We can really do a lot together. At Prama, we have always believed that craft is culture in motion. That what is handmade carries with it a spirit of the maker, the rhythm of the tradition, and the quiet innovation of time. When I look at Manipur textiles and handicrafts, I see living expression of that philosophy. Manipur's textile language is deeply poetic. I feel it's beautifully poetic, from the Phanek and the Inafi, and that women drape with grace, and Moringfi, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, with its delicate temple borders and meaningful motifs. These textiles are not just garments, they are woman expressions of identity, of womanhood, and of belonging. So at Prama, we wish to collaborate, not to repeat. Okay? Our vision is to bring Manipur weaves and craft traditions into a dialogue with contemporary designs. We're creating pieces that carry both local soul and global appeal. So I usually do a lot of layering in Chanderi. I've been doing Chanderi for the past 14 years. So it's a textile that I fell in love with, and so I do, the outer garment is all Chanderi, which is silk, which is, you have to have the textile a little away from your skin, and the closest textile that should be close to your skin is cotton. So all my inners are 100% cotton. So I feel I can replicate the same using the Manipuri textiles. My layering is a super hit across the world. People wear it as I make it, just the way I design it. It's a modernized version of a kurta. That's what I do. And of course, we do a lot of saris. A lot of people buy it as is. So I think somewhere I'm doing my language of it's appealing to the West and as is for the Indian audience and for the Western. So I feel just changing the textile might just make a lot of sense, and I can continue using its purity of Manipuri textiles. I also found the dance of Manipuri very interesting as an inspiration, the color combinations. But yes, we have to look at it very poetically, I feel. I'm a purist, and I feel when I look at any other textile, I always like to make it and take it as is with a little bit of modification. So I think I'm going to look at the textiles more closely and see what we can do together. So beyond textiles, I also found the Manipuri handicrafts very interesting. The endless possibilities for design thinking, I feel. The Karuna grass weaving, bamboo, and the cane handicrafts. Handmade accessories can embody an ecological sensitivity that is so relevant of today. I think it's very important that we can use it as is. These materials, I think I could visualize a clutch, I could visualize design elements that can be made into many other things. So I think that, since I think once you come to a different place, this is my first trip to Manipur, and suddenly getting exposed to the possibilities is very humbling, and I feel there's a lot that can be done. I'm very emotional about the weavers, and I feel we have to listen to what the weavers also have to say, and not to change anything. So having a balance between what they want to say and what we feel the world want is the right balance. And that's where, as a designer, it's your responsibility to do that. And I feel Manipur is a very, very sensitive state. It's very emotional about what they do, and I wish I can sort of translate them for them into the international world. So it can be something like hand-woven in Manipur and designed by Prama, which I could take it forward to the next level. So such collaborations are not just aesthetic, they are also ethical and ecological. They give voice and visibility to the artisans. They create livelihood while presenting heritage. They remind the world of sustainability begins with respect for the hand, for the process, and for the place. So as a designer, I believe future in fashion lies in these connections, where tradition meets innovation, where rural meets urban, where every piece carries a story worth telling. So Manipur, with the unparalleled textile and craft legacy, offers us a chance to weave not just fabrics, but a new narrative for the Indian design. So one that is inclusive, rooted, and forward-looking. So at Prama, we are deeply committed to being a part of this journey, to celebrating the artistry of Manipur, to collaborating with its weavers to carry the essence of the craftsmanship into the global platform. So because of this endless, luxury is not access, it is excellence. And excellence, as Manipur teaches us, is always handmade. And I believe handmade is our strength, and we need to take it to the next level by design intervention. I think with the experiences of designers like we are here, we can give you that exposure, and together, and I think as a collaborative effort, we can take it forward. So I just want to conclude that thank you for having me and wish you all the very best. And I think here is a great future ahead of us with our textiles. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Srimati Pratima Pandey, Prama by Pratima Pandey. Requesting to all the participant, official and designer that after this designer talk, we have arranged interaction program related with today's topic. So any questions can ask to our speaker regarding to this topic. So all are requested to kindly attend this session without fail. It is a golden chance. So next, I would like to invite Srimati Madhumita Sarkar Guha, founder, CEO, Lux Living, to kindly address the gathering.
Namaste, good evening everybody. Thank you, Director Sir. Thank you everybody from the state of Manipur to bringing me here to the city of Imphal. This is my first time here and I am really thankful for the pristineness of the air and the beauty of the handicrafts and the things that I have seen in the past 2 days. So a big thank you goes out to all of you here, showcasing your products and explaining with detailing as to how much time it takes and what effort it takes to make one piece of clothing or one piece of fabric. I am Madhumita Sarkar Guha. I have been a serial entrepreneur for the last 23 years. I started out as an interior architect in Kolkata. My firm practices till date and we handle projects of all measures from residential to hospitality to corporate spaces. So being from the interior architecture industry, I switched over to textiles in the year 2016 क्योंकि मुझे लगा कि there is a huge gap where in India हम लोग जो textiles हमें हमारे घरों में
बनते हैं और हमारे घरों में सजाए जा सकते हैं, वो हम नहीं कर रहे हैं। हम फैक्ट्री मेड प्रोडक्ट्स उठाते हैं, फैक्ट्री मेड कुशन कवर्स, फैक्ट्री मेड कर्टन्स, ये सब हम उठाते हैं और सजा देते हैं. लाइक आई वॉज डूइंग इट फॉर ऑल माई क्लाइंट्स. So I wanted to break out from that, and I wanted to provide my clients a very curated experience of having home furnishings which is handmade, hand embroidered, hand embellished. And because I was situated in Kolkata, I was in the middle of a huge craft heritage which Bengal offers. So मैंने Bengal पे focus किया, एंड इंटीरियर्स में अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स में मैंने होम फर्निशिंग्स डालनी शुरू की, विच वॉज इंस्पायर्ड बाय बंगाल क्राफ्ट. So we started out with jamdani cushions, we went into kantha runners, we did a lot of embroidery, kantha embroidery cushion covers, so bed sheets and everything. So in that space, I found that there is a lot of scope that can be done not just with Bengal craft, but also with the craft that we have from the rest of India. So you see in the north and the west of the country, we already have so much of block printing ka kaam, jo hum block printing ke cushions, runners, every product has been has been made using these crafts. But here, coming to Manipur, it's like a hidden gem. So all the things that I saw in the last 2 days, I think that can be brilliantly used, and it can be incorporated in all the home furnishings that we are making and exporting, in fact. So Jessica, our designer here from the mega cluster today, was so kind enough to show me around and explain very patiently as to what she has been doing with her cluster as a designer. And the challenges, there are challenges and bottlenecks, as sir was also describing the other day. But the whole point of design is to overcome these challenges and to find how to unblock the bottlenecks. So yes, there are so many motifs that are emotionally connected, culturally connected with the life that you have here, but weaving around them, or if we are able to design and implement ways in which the color combinations, the motifs, the entire usage of the fabric can be engineered to suit the global audience's preferences, I think that way we will be able to push Manipur handicraft and handlooms on a global audience, onto a global stage. Heirloom Naga is a company which is based out of Nagaland, and she is doing tremendously good work in promoting Nagaland handicrafts and handloom into the global space. So I think Manipur has that space barren as of now. It's a virgin territory, and we are looking out at designer collaborations as to how that can be done, how things can be brought about, and we can push those kind of products. It doesn't have to be the regular run-of-the-mill products. It can be anything. The kind of textiles that you're doing, the finest of yarns are being used, the best of silk is being used, and in fact the kind of jamdani that we have in Bengal, it is so similar here, which I saw today in all the Rani Fi that is being woven and sold. So there is so much collaboration that can happen. There is so much interaction and intervention that could be happening at a design level, and things can be given a new shape. They can be brought out into so many vibrant colors to suit the global market. And I think we have a wonderful marketing person from Netfi here who's going to explain to you as to what Netfi is doing with the products that Assam produces. So the same goes for Manipur. There is a lot of scope that can be explored and brought out into the home textile category specifically. So there are products like coasters, like I supply to companies in Spain and other parts in Europe, where they are making coasters out of simple things, out of simple fabric, just stitching the outside border. So why can't we have one of your motifs there on the kind of coarse fabric that you're already making, give it a nicer finish on the edges, and just make it out in a desired size? I think it's that simple. Weavers, I understand at certain level there are blockages in understanding and in the mindset, but I think we will have to go around it in a very subtle way and bring about the changes. It's not going to be happening in a single day. We will have to have time and patience for it, but it is possible. Once they realize that their products are traveling throughout the world, they will be so much more happier and excited to do the next round of experimentation with you. So yes, what I saw in the last 2 days, there is a whole lot of scope. There is so much of excitement around it that can be brought about, and new products can be given shape. I am looking forward to great collaborations with designers. So whoever, sir, I'm looking forward to your help also. So if there are things that can be brought forward and I can intervene with my expertise in any which way, please tap onto me. I am there for you. And as to the designers, best of luck to you. Come, overcome the challenges, and you're sitting on a huge mine of knowledge as well as craft expertise. So good luck to everybody, and thank you for having me here once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Srimati Madhumita Sarkar Guha, founder, CEO, Lux Living. And last but not least, Sri Arjun Borali, business head, NSL, textile designer from Cluster Implemented in Manipur. So you are kindly requested to lay down few lines regarding today's topic.
That's okay, perfect, no issue. Good evening, sir, respected dignitaries, artisans, and my fellow guests. It's a privilege to be here at Manitex. I believe it's happening after a gap of 2 years. It is a privilege to be here among one of the richest artisan artistic heritage of Northeast. The Northeast is a region where handloom is not just a craft. It is an identity, it's a livelihood, it's a cultural memory, and hold one of the strongest expression of women leadership. And within this landscape of Northeast, Manipur holds a very special place. The Fanek, the Moirangfi, they are not just textiles over here. They are stories, traditions that reflect the history and community value of the people over here. These products are not mass-produced commodities. There's a difference between mass-produced and the fast fashion that people are so used to. So these are products that takes a part of the artistic and the artisan's input in each and every one. However, even when the craft is very strong, the market often remains a challenge. Visibility, continuity of demand, and the fair value of the product. This is where an organization like Initial, that's the CSR arm of Netfi, we are trying to work to build a bridge between the artisans and the market, where the marker's identity is honored, not lost. So, when we are talking about Manipur in specific, Chanu Creations, Renu Handloom, there's a agro-horticom organization called Diet Care, NTC. They use us as a market linkage opportunity, where the difference is that we ensure that the identity of the weaver or the brand remains intact. It is sold in the person's or the organization's brand name. Today, customers in India and globally are seeking authenticity, sustainability, and a meaning of the product that they buy. our artisans have already created something that is exactly fills that void. People, consumers are looking for a story. All our products have the story. We need the story to be told. So what is needed is the brand identity, so the products will carry the artisan story, the history and the traditions with it. The market linkage for a consistent demand and design innovation. So like the speakers behind me were saying, they can give you the necessary input when we are talking about the design innovation. Like somebody was just saying, when there's a row of artisans selling product, the consumer will stop at those outlets which is slightly different, right? So try to push yourself, make stuff that would probably push the boundaries and stand out. They are, it might be a very niche customer base, but they are customers who are willing to pay a premium for that niche product, the different product. So events like Manitex are more than just exhibitions. They are catalysts. They give confidence to artisans that their heritage has value, relevance and a future. Let us continue to work together, government, institutions, designers, artisan groups, to ensure that when a Manipuri textile product reaches a home in Delhi, Newark, Edinburgh or Brisbane, it carries not just the beauty, but dignity, identity and pride of the artisan. With this, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the honor and your warm welcome. Thank you so much.
Participant amadi kuigi designer sing any question hangning belerga soduma hangbi wagi kudong chaba do pijari.
Hango mic pige.
Oh, mic already pig.
Mic lai bra. Hango hangada badin. No. Hango.
Designer, participant, anyone who can that can ask any question regarding today's topic. Today's topic is interior design with Manipur handloom and handicraft. Nasigi quick speaker Shingda Hangbina Nabugidamak.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for this opportunity.
Minga designation Gahan Haibira.
My name is Chan Wo P. Hungyo. I'm a textile designer in Pungyar cluster. Actually, I wanted to ask this yesterday when we were having a discussion, but there was a time constraint. So I just wanted to ask, not in particular, but to the four of you there. So after the interaction, I just wanted to, I was very curious, as in, like Ma'am Pratibha Pandey, like you said that, why change? You said yesterday, why change? Why change them? Why, if they are not willing to change? That is very true. And it hits me, like, okay, if I don't want to change them, if there is an alternate ways to bring our product to international market, how are we supposed to do then? So in that moment, I remember what Ma'am Madhumita, what you said. You work in home furnishing, Lux, what is that? Lux Living. Yeah, so I was very curious. We wanted to explore more products, not just our traditional items, but we wanted to explore more on interior furnishings, like maybe cushions, curtains, or home furnishings. So what can we do? Like in the hill area, we mainly use acrylic. Our weavers, they are not willing to use cotton or silk or other yarns besides acrylic. They are very comfortable with that. And besides that, like we have mentioned yesterday also, that our weavers, they are always stuck to the original traditional motifs and shawls and stools. So we wanted to know, if we want to move towards home furnishing, then what can we do? How can you help us in that way? like, let's say we'll stick to acrylic for now. What can we do with acrylic? Because from what we hear, from what we know, people from outside, they prefer cotton, silk, something linen, etc., not acrylic or not synthetic fiber. So what can we do about that? Can you please give some suggestions? Thank you.
Hello. I'm so glad what I was talking about, it did hit you. But yes, I come from a very old school thought that all the weavers who don't want to change should be allowed not to change. And willingness of others who are younger, who want to change and explore, let them explore. Having said that, I think I would like to give you an example of the Charu creation. I don't know if you've seen Indra's work. I think she's a very beautiful blend of what you could do for interiors. Because I just witnessed, I went to her place and we saw it was an organic platform, beautifully done, and they do interiors. She told us this is acrylic and that's cotton. So she has both, you know, and I think that blend is very important to understand. It's a very gradual process. You can't hush it up, you can't push it. I'm not from the interiors, I do garments. But looking at her work, I thought I could do interiors and I want to do interiors. And you know, Manipuri textiles have a very unique style. And I think we have to enhance that style, not take it away. And please remember, like I always say, handloom is our strength. When we are getting into machines or anything else, even acrylic for that matter, or polyester, we have better players out there in the international market. We have China and we have all the international markets. So you're competing with the world if you're doing machine or polyester or acrylic. The minute you do, the local yarns and you do your local handloom weaving is where the strength lies. And I think we need to understand and evolve in that. Also, I think it's a slow process. We have to work on our designs. I think we are just in the right platform. A lot more Manitex will give you a lot more exposure. This is just the beginning, and I think just go with the flow. And we have textile experts, we have designers, we have people like us. I think now today when I've come 2 days, I'm here. There's a lot of food of thought. I don't know what I can do, but since I'm very old school, I'm not going to change much. But what I can do is what I'll try to incorporate. So I think please look at Charu Textile, Chanu Creations and Indra's work. I think that's a very, very good example to begin with. Right here under in Manipur and doing a fantastic job. So yeah, that's my one point of contact, I could say. And I think you can also really contribute somewhere.
So if they are not willing to work with acrylic, so that's going to be a bottleneck, and if you're wanting to fight that, you will not be able to fight that wholly, right? So let them design new things in acrylic. Just start with the first easiest small step, the lowest hanging fruit. So let them start with doing design innovations in acrylic. Select a few weavers. I think it's a very specific kind of a solution that I'm trying to give. I don't know whether it'll work or not. But still, select a handful of weavers who you think are willing to transition from acrylic to wool or any other natural fiber, and in due course of time, the innovations that have been done in design, you can get them adapted into the natural fibers slowly. So it's going to take time, and acrylic, it's easier. We had a similar kind of a situation in Bengal where 90% of the weavers are weaving saris using polyester blended cotton now, because it's easy, because it doesn't tear, because it gives higher output, higher income. So that's one way of life. And if we are wanting to go back to the most sustainable circular kind of an economy where we are working with natural kind of textiles, it's going to be a very slow transition, but there is hope. That much I can assure you.
Good evening to one and all present here, and I would like to ask a question, ma'am and sir. Today, it was said that like when you produce something unique, you stand there and watch. And I would like to ask to all the dignitaries while exploring this many stalls that we have, that if you find anything unique from all the products in handloom and handicraft produced here, and if there is any suggestions you would like to make this product as a as an exportable products. Thank you.
I think there was a lot of uniqueness when I saw. I mean, that's my thing. But also, I was looking at more of practicality. Where will I fit in? Where will I keep it? How expensive it is? Like anybody else would do. And I think there are a lot of products which stood out. Of course, color-wise, what everybody was doing, and there are a couple of people stood out in terms of color placement, how they did it. And we have bought it, by the way. We all went shopping and we were all looking for something unique, and that's exactly what we did. And I think that is one point of understanding ki what we are picking up. I think that's a very good head start for you. But having said that, uniqueness is, I think, a lot of innovation. It's with what you have. You know, you don't have to go bilkul berserk, but changing placement of the motif, changing the color, changing. These are very few little innovations what one can do, and I think it's a lot of brainstorming. We can't just come here and just say change. It doesn't work like that. You have to change slowly, and a lot more ideas. Like we said, people from all over come here. A lot of ideas are dropped in. So I think it's a process. You can't really say change completely. And but standing out, I think it's like even if I'm designing every collection every time, I try and like I'm telling you my philosophy. I introduce something, one point which is absolutely new and unique. So in my whole collection, it looks the same, but when you come close and up close and see, there might be an innovation of chicken curry embroidery which is done with a little twist. My motifs change, my placement change in the same regular kurta. So, and it sells. So it's you know, it's a philosophy, it's an understanding, it's a process, and it doesn't happen overnight. So I think we are just suggesting because this is the point to make a difference, you know. So yeah, I think if you want to add something, or do you want to add something? Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I hope that answers you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir, ma'am. Actually, we designers have run through a lot of dead ends at the moment sometimes, because like we have seen a lot of designs that's been repetitive, like, you know, over the years. And like we have tried changing colors, we've tried changing the layouts, the patterns and everything. But sometimes when we look for the trend, we go for like minimal, very subtle kind of designs. But will that design be termed as you know, traditional according to the market itself? Or like if we somehow change the design, like simplify it, will it still be helpful for the market itself? Like, you know, for globally, like for standing out, like, you know, putting our like Manipur tradition as a platform, would that be good?
Hi. This is a very valid question, and as a designer, I can understand your plight. I can understand what you're going through. Sometimes you're doing different things and it just doesn't work. You do not know what is the right formula. So I guess, yes, one thing is a lot of exposure. We need, and that can be also in the form of ourselves getting out and seeing what is it that the world is doing, what is it that they want. And I was just speaking to Director Saab right now, and we were thinking of getting batches of 3-3 to be exposed, to be sent to different centers where you can learn, where you can see, where you can be exposed, you know, for like a 1 week thing where you can go there within the country. Maybe Jaipur it can be, maybe it can be Delhi, or it can be in Kutch, it can be in Pochampalli, which is south of India. So different parts of this country. So that is the only way that we will be able to address our questions. नहीं तो हम गोल गोल घूमते ही रहेंगे. You know, we are going to run around in circles and be frustrated that we haven't found the answer. And this is not right. So it was a suggestion from Director Saab right now that we've been talking, and we will chalk out a plan as to how, correct? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, we will chalk out a plan as to which are the zones that you can go and see, and just go and see and absorb, because that's all you require. You know, our minds are like sponge. You have to go everywhere, absorb, absorb, absorb. When you come on your looms, khali nichodna hai, all that you have learned from everywhere. But let us begin with this process of learning first. So you have to, it's not that you have to unlearn what you have learned, but let us begin with the exposure, and don't get frustrated. It is not an easy thing. So many years we've been in business, and sometimes even our collections flop and we think, what went wrong? It happens. It's a growth thing, and these are growth pains. But we will handhold you. This is something that he is promising, and well, we will have to just depend and make sure that he keeps up his word. In case he forgets, please hammer him.
I would just like to add to what ma'am is saying, something very beautifully. Like I'm telling you my process. I hear you when you're saying that I don't want to lose the cultural thing, and I want to make something which is the world wants. There is that duality that will always be there. So I also have NRIs, we have very high-end diplomats buying my clothes, and I do have local Indians buying my clothes. And I do try and strike a balance. We have a collection which is dedicated, and I think every collection is what I feel. So sometimes I feel very rooted to what I want to do. You know, I want to make it very Indian. I don't care if it's going to sell or not. So I do it. And sometimes I want to go out there. I want to have the whole world wear my brand. So I do something very sort of fusion Western. So, you know, there is this whole thing of testing and trying, failing, and then standing up again and believing what you want to. If you want to make sure that is hardcore Manipuri, please don't get away from that, because trust me, your gut is never wrong. I believe in that completely. And I mean, it's been 16 years into the industry. I still fail, but I still get up and I still start. So I think just hear yourself, what you want to do and what you really strongly believe, follow that. I think, and if you want the West to also hear you, strike that balances, and without losing it. I think we are very proud Indians. We all want to stick to our roots deeply, and I think that's where our heritage is still alive. We have to know that. Trust me, our granddads didn't stand for what they believed in. It wouldn't have passed on to us. It is with us, because now it's our onus and our responsibility how we package it beautifully to take it to the next level. And that's our responsibility. So what you want to do is what you have to believe in, and then take it forward. I think that's all I would like to add.
Hello ma'am, I'm one of the textile designer from Mega Handloom Cluster. So it's a very typical question, but I still want to ask you, through your experience, we want to know, okay, what are the international buyer actually looking for? Like, we want to know.
You know, we have a wonderful international buyer here, Yuka. Yuka is a buyer from Japan, And I'm going to hand over the mic to her, though she's sitting and having her tea. Please, Yuka, this is a very important question, and if you can help address this, it would be very nice, yeah? Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. Hi. Regarding your question about what can be done, you're stuck. I also sometimes stuck if it suits for my the market or not. I normally export to Japan and France, and then always what I have to be careful with about the like I said yesterday, it's about, for me it's about the colors, because our style is very basic, which I think I had some idea from Japanese style, converting to different colors. So it's always experimental, and I think that is the way it should be. And then as far as Manipuri textile that you guys are doing, motif is fantastic, traditional fantastic. I think that is your strength. So I don't want you to change that. But to make it, by, for example, using different yarn, different fibers, or different colors, or add the more motif in a different way, or maybe you can mix with your weaving along with embroidery, or along with the tie and dye. I don't know, some experiments. I think it would be a good idea to have little, little difference. That's all I can say.
Good evening, everyone. So far we have talked about the design, the motif, and the colors, and like how the Manipur weavers are making all these like unique clothing. But how do we make them open their eye when it comes to export to the other countries? Because most of the weaver, they don't, even though they have the idea about the export, they just cannot come out from the comfort zone. So how do we influence them to just like give the idea about the export to the other country? How do we upgrade? Like we already have the unique design. The fabric is like we cannot even say like how the people like love the fabric, but how do we make them open their eyes when it comes to export?
Can you just repeat the question? I'm very sorry. I just missed a part of it.
Okay. So like we have weavers, we have more than 2 lakhs of weavers. So in terms, when it comes to like export, we already have like skilled weavers, and then like best motif, and then when it comes to export, people like the weavers, they don't want to come out from the export like comfort zone. So we just like the designers, like the CDEs and the officials are trying so hard for, but the thing is, the artisan, they just cannot come out from the comfort zone. But we are trying our best, but still, how do we capture them when it comes to export?
Look, there's 2 parts to it. First is, let the artisan do what they do best. They are best in making products, right, that tell the story and the tradition. Among the artisans, there might be one who would be slightly more entrepreneurial, or the designers for the matter, who can basically take the best and convert into stuff that is needed across the world. So yeah, I'm saying, like, if the traditional sari or a fanek, probably it will not work in the international market. But if we use the traditional motif, make stuff like runners, coasters, curtains, drapes, those would work. Look, the thing is that there are a lot of geometric patterns that the Manipuri design artisans weave. And from whatever interaction I have had with foreign buyers, it's very easy, like compared to other motifs, it's very easy to push geometric patterns. And we have the colors that actually have a global appeal. So I think that way it shouldn't be that tough for you. Secondly, you've got people from the industry who are sitting at the dais who can guide you, and you've also people like Indira Di who's also in this export market for a pretty long time. They'll be there to help. If you're asking from as an organization, NetFee, in the Expo Mart, we have our own permanent stall. We give space to budding entrepreneurs and artisans who they want to interact with the buyers, for which we don't charge anything. So that's something you can also check for and use us for. Thanks.
No, just one more thing I wanted to add was motivation is a skill you have to develop if you want to build teams. Even when you have children, you have to motivate your child to do something. When he is just standing, you motivate him to take the first step. How do you do it? The same way you have to imagine yourself. If they are your weavers, you are the mother. If they are your children, how would you motivate them? Sometimes you have to scold them, sometimes you have to give them a candy, sometimes you have to pamper them, sometimes you have to pat their back. So you have to use all these different sayings to work with the weavers. It's very simple. I mean, this is no rocket science. Everywhere we all face the same problem, be it weavers, be it tailors, be it block printers, be it anything, embroiders. We have so many different people that we work with, and this motivation is something that you have to think of it, you know, how to do it. Find different ways to do it, because it is important when your weaver stays motivated, you will be able to get what you want. Figure out ways of doing it. I think it's necessary to keep them motivated, and that is a big thing. And you'll get what you want eventually.
Ma'am, punamagpo thagatchari. And that brings us to the end of today's session, Designer Talk. I would like to thank to all the designer participants and the attendees who attend this session, and respected speaker, Srimati Krishna Mehta, creative designer, Krishna Mehta Studio. I'd like to thank Srimati Pratima Pandey, Prama by Pratima Pandey, Srimati Madhumita Sarkar, Gua founder, CEO, Lux Living, and thank you once again, Sri Arjun Baroli, business head, and himself, textile designer from cluster implemented in Manipur, and thank you once again, our director, Sir Elangbom Jiten, director of Handloom and Textile Manipur. We hope akoigi ngasigi session asi yamna nungaiba yamna kanaba session ama oi haina ina longse. So matang asida ngasigi session asi loishinjari, and before we wrap up, let me acknowledge our organizer, Department of Textile, Commerce and Industry, Government of Manipur, Director of Handloom and Textile Manipur na sinduna pangthok choriba ngasigi ahum suba numitki pangthok choriba koigi ahum suba session Designer Talk matang asida loishinjari aduga punamakpu amuka hana thagarba phongdokchari. Evening session da muk isai nongmai galoina na mayamu unasi athuba matam da koi hauna na bagi sem sajari.